the Kingdom of Epirus was an ancient state in northwestern Greece, renowned both for its natural beauty and its unique culture. Its history stretches back to ancient times, and the region often played a key role in the exchanges and conflicts between the Greek city-states. The region's chief city, often referred to as the ancient city of Epirus, was Dodona. It rose to fame due to its famous oracular sanctuary dedicated to Zeus, where priestesses, known as the doves of Dodona, would interpret the wind and leaf sounds to predict the future. As well as Dodona, other important cities in Epirus included Ambracia, Getane, and Passaron. Epirus's origins date back to the Hellenistic era and the ancient tribes inhabiting the northwestern region of Greece. The name Epirus may have its roots in the ancient Greek language and could mean mainland or dry land, reflecting the area situated on the Greek mainland, as opposed to the islands. In antiquity, the Epirus region was occupied by several tribes, including the Molossians, Thesprotians, and Chaonians. Each had its own dynasties and local leadership. The Molossian dynasty, allegedly descended from the mythological hero Achilles, had a key role to play in forming the Kingdom of Epirus. With time, the Kingdom of Epirus spread its influence over neighboring tribes and strengthened its territories in northwestern Greece. Moreover, Epirus had frequent contacts with the Greek city-states to the south, such as Athens and Sparta, as well as with the neighboring regions of the Balkans. The Epirus region did not evade the influence of neighboring kingdoms, especially Macedonia, led by Philip II and his son, Alexander the Great. The Macedonian influence molded politics and dynasties in Epirus, while members of the Epirot aristocracy were often involved in events taking place in the wider Hellenistic world. The Kingdom of Epirus developed into an independent state during the Hellenistic period and formed a centralized monarchy. Establishing the Molossian dynasty and cementing royal power helped shape Epirus as a different political entity. Epirus society featured an aristocratic class, bringing with it a significant role in government and decision-making. Aristocracy members often held important positions, counseling the monarch and actively contributing to running the kingdom. Epirotes were renowned for their soldiering skills and their input into the armed forces in regional conflicts. Taking part in wars such as the Pyrrhic Wars highlighted Epirus's military weight. The Pyrrhic Wars consisted of several conflicts between the Kingdom of Epirus, led by King Pyrrhus II, and the Roman Republic, initially headed by Publius Cornelius Scipio, and later by the famous Roman general Scipio Africanus. The Pyrrhic Wars were fought between 280 and 275 BC, and are remarkable not only for the battles, but also for popularizing the term Pyrrhic victory, understood to depict a victory won at such an inflated cost that it amounts to a rout. The Pyrrhic Wars were mainly brought by Pyrrhus II's involvement in the struggles between the Greek city-states of southern Italy and the growing Roman expansion in the region. Pyrrhus II, a well-known military commander and ally of the Greek cities, was called upon to help the Greek cities repel the Roman invasion. Each victory for Pyrrhus II, however, came at a significant cost in terms of resources and soldiers. Notwithstanding his initial triumphs, Pyrrhus found it difficult to consolidate his hold on the conquered territories and to gather local support against the Romans. All the while, the Roman Republic managed to recover from its defeats and replenish its ranks. After several campaigns, the Pyrrhic Wars ended in 275 BC with a decisive Roman victory at the Battle of Benevento. Although Pyrrhus II kept fighting for a brief time after this loss, he eventually abandoned his Italian efforts and returned to Epirus. The war between Epirus and Antigonus II Gonatas occurred against the backdrop of the struggles for the control of Macedonia and Greece, following Alexander the Great's death and the ensuing period of the Diadochi, or Alexander's successors. Antigonus II Gonatas was among the Diadochi descendants and claimed the Macedonian throne, while Epirus aimed to expand its sway in the region. The war against Antigonus II Gonatas was waged by Pyrrhus II, king of Epirus, between 274 and 272 BC. His ambitions were to seize the territories in Macedonia and expand his kingdom. Yet Antigonus II Gonatas was convinced to maintain his control over Macedonia and withstood Epirus's advances. The war led to a chain of battles and skirmishes between the forces of Epirus and those of Antigonus II Gonatas. Although Pyrrhus II had some early successes, such as the capture of the city of Athens, he faced significant resistance and failed to completely defeat Antigonus II Gonatas. The war ended in 272 BC, with Pyrrhus II's death during a siege of a Macedonian city. His demise put an end to Epirus's expansionist ambitions in the region and allowed Antigonus II Gonatas to solidify his control over Macedonia. The alliance between Epirus and the Roman Republic against Philip V of Macedon occurred as part of the Macedonian Wars, a series of conflicts between Rome and Macedon over control of Greece and the Balkans. Philip V, king of Macedon, was attempting to expand his dominion over Greek cities and neighboring territories, alarming Rome and prompting their deployment in the region. Epirus's alliance with Rome was driven largely by shared interests. Both Epirus and Rome saw Macedonian expansion as a challenge to their security and influence in the region. There was also a long-running rivalry between Epirus and Macedonia, which made it only natural for Epirus to join Rome against Philip V. The resulting alliance led to the Second Macedonian War, where Epirus, together with Roman forces, faced Philip V and his troops. The joint efforts of Epirus and Rome dealt significant blows to Philip V. The war ended with the Treaty of Tempe in 197 BC, imposing heavy terms on Macedonia and weakening Philip V's power in the region considerably. The Illyrian Wars consisted of a number of conflicts between Rome and the Illyrian tribes living in the Western Balkan region, known as Illyria. These battles were fought mainly during the 3rd and 2nd centuries BC, and involved several Roman military campaigns to overwhelm and control the Illyrian tribes. The political situation varied, with Epirus sometimes collaborating with Rome against those. The alliance between Epirus and the Roman Republic against Perseus of Macedon occurred during the Third Macedonian War, waged between the years 171 and 168 BC. Perseus was the king of Macedonia and was at odds with Rome over their rivalry for control of Greece and the Balkans. During this war, Epirus, led by King Pyrrhus V, sided with Rome against Perseus. Epirus's move to ally itself with Rome was prompted by several factors, including historical rivalries with Macedonia, mutual interest in containing Macedonian spread, and the hope of territorial gains or political influence. Epirus's alliance with Rome was pivotal to ending the Third Macedonian War. The combined forces of Epirus and Rome engaged Perseus in several battles, including the decisive Battle of Pydna in 168 BC, where Roman troops commanded by Lucius Aemilius Paulus defeated Perseus's Macedonian forces. The Roman Epirot triumph at the Battle of Pydna ushered in the end of Perseus's reign and the dissolution of the Macedonian kingdom as an independent power. It was divided into several republics and city-states under Roman oversight. As far as Epirus was concerned, the alliance with Rome against Perseus not only solidified its position as one of Rome's allies, but also gave it territorial gains and leverage in the region. Subsequent Roman interference in Greek affairs and the gradual loss of autonomy eventually led to the decline of the Kingdom of Epirus. Even though it acted as an ally of Rome for so many years, Epirus was incorporated as a Roman province in 167 BC. The Kingdom of Epirus had a significant legacy in the ancient Greek history and in the development of the Mediterranean world. While a relatively small state, and often outshone by larger powers such as Macedonia and Rome, Epirus contributed to the flourishing Greek culture, and its military and political influence continues to inspire study and interest to this day.